turn a couple laps, see what we got. Just to get started, a little baseline here. We got the D-Box haptic system turned on high. Actually, let's do this. Settings. We're going to put the track surface back on. Surface texture, I mean. Save. Okay, global parameters, you're at 100. Alright. Oh, that was that glitched area at the end of pit road. Did you hear the car bottom out? Oh, yeah. Right at home. I don't know if we have to shift on the backstretch. We'll try it next time. Alright, let's focus on a race line now. Let it roll a little bit longer. Nope, that's not a good race line. Whoa! Pit road entry. Oh, we're gonna miss it. Oh no, we made it. Ooh, that was actually pretty good. You don't want to be on the track right there, though. You'll probably get run over. Alright. Let's come in. Let's process.
5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Let right side up. Oh, you're down. Watching the bottom right of your camera as they drop the left side.
That's it, go.
That's so cool. Also, nice run last Saturday. Was able to watch it live at your so boat. Thank you, thank you. Oh, you got that throwback diecast? Sweet. All right. Yeah, check it out. Exclamation point D-Box if you're curious to learn more. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to master Richmond Raceway today. And on the simulator, especially on a long green flag run, it's critical you wrap the yellow line every lap with the left front tire. So we're going to do a couple laps and then watch them back. Let's start here. So into turn one, we're in 5th gear. We downshift to 4th. I kind of had a diamond here. I actually washed the nose and missed the bottom here. I'm just getting used to the next-gen car. It doesn't really like to free roll as much as the Xfinity car. This wasn't a bad turn 4. You see we slid off the bottom, and what happens is the track actually, as it rubbers up, it actually gets really hard to recover from that. So if you don't get to the yellow line like I did here, you usually won't ever get down there. So it's really important you get there right away. That's crucial. Is getting there and then just wrapping it tightly the whole time. I was kind of messing around this first run. We'll go back out and apply some of these things so you can see what I'm talking about. But you see we upshift to 5th, downshift to 4th. Little bit off the yellow here. I think this is our last lap. Actually, it's a horrible example. Yeah. So let's go ahead and just turn a couple more laps. We're going to start slow and work our way up. The reason D-Box technology helps me so much with this too, especially, is because I could feel the subtle cues. You know, the bumps and seams in the track, the slip of the tires and how much grip I actually have, and the suspension of the car working. So I'm actually not going to do a hot lap, so we don't need to come to green up top. But let's just start on the front straightaway. So we're coming off turn 4, say we're right here. Okay, we pull 5th gear just past the start finish line. You can have a decent arc into turn 1, downshift to 4th, get to this yellow line and wrap it tight. And you want to come straight off the bottom like that. You want it to be a straight line out or off the corner. You can get into 3 pretty shallow so that you can get to this yellow line and wrap it tight like this. And then same thing, straight exit. Almost point the car at the flag stand and drive out to it. Keep going a little faster and faster each lap. Turn 1's interesting though, so there's a couple different approaches. So you can arc it out and kind of late apex the corner. From my experience, when the track rubbers up, even down here, if you miss this yellow line, you'll never get to it. The grip is on the paint. You need to get there and stay on it. So in turn 1, some people find they can drive it like this. Big, that's a little dramatic, but come down, straight exit, not arced out quite as much. I just kind of exaggerated that for example. You can arc 3 out a little bit too, and then wrap this as long as your car can actually turn down there. Sometimes you find you won't be able to get down there if you arc it out, so a lot of guys start driving straight at the bottom like this to make sure they get there, and then they just wrap it tightly all the way around. But that low straight exit is critical like that, just to manage those rear tires and not drive through the outside front tire on the exit. So down here, same thing. You're going to let it roll, tip into the throttle, and drive straight off the corner. Some guys run almost the middle of the straightaway out of that rubber buildup where it's slick up there. There's a little more grip further down there, actually, in real life. See, kind of this is that arc I was talking about, late apex. See how late I got to the line? Pick up the throttle, back up through the gears, leave it in 4th for this time. This is that straight entry I talked about, just to ensure we get to the yellow line and wrap it tight. Then we come off nice and straight. We can try getting to the yellow line early down here. Like here. Make sure we get that low straight exit. The arc really helps you get pointed better for the exit. But like I said, as the track rubbers up throughout a run with a lot of cars on the track, it's really hard to actually get there with that arc. And then you just kind of, if you don't get straight to the yellow, you'll never get to it. You'll kind of be stuck just in the rubber and miss the bottom a couple feet off of it. Like I said, that was an exaggeration, but I just kind of wanted to show you the sensation of that. Same with down here. If you don't get here, if you're up here, you usually can't turn down like this unless you're on fresh tires and have a lot of grip. But it goes away so quickly here. The surface is like a cheese grater. So we'll get down to the yellow early. Wrap it nicely. That was a little bit of a diamond. Kind of entered on it, washed up off it, got back to it. But same thing. Sometimes I find as the track rubbers up and loses grip, if you try to diamond it like this, it's hard to get back to it once you slip off of it. So it's important to just pin the left front right on that yellow line and stay on it throughout the corner. On iRacing, it doesn't seem to have that problem as much. You can get away with that arc and late apex just like that. And then down here, you can carry a little bit more arc like this. And you can carry a lot more center speed in doing so. The important thing, or most critical thing, is that low straight exit we talked about. And not overdriving the entries either and wearing out the front tires. When you're hot lapping, you can get away with letting the car drift out on exit, picking up the throttle early, and kind of driving out to the wall like this, as long as you keep those rears underneath you and you don't slip the tire. In the race, you don't want to do that just because you're driving through that outside front tire and asking a lot out of that outside rear tire too by doing this. It just wants to snap. See how I had that slight little slide there? And I'm not even pushing hard or going fast right now. So it'd be hard to manage that. You can get away with it in qualifying or on short run, but even on the short run, if it leads into a long run and someone else was low and straight on corner exit every lap that run, they're just like this, straighten up your hands and exit straight as you get the power down. They're going to have a lot more life in their tires towards the end of the run. Granted, a lot of these things are directly related to the balance of your race car. If you're too tight, You're gonna wear the right front more. It might be hard to save tires. You're gonna struggle to carry center speed through the corner. But if you're loose, you're just gonna slide on that right rear all the way through the corner, especially if you're trying to carry an arc. Sometimes guys driving straight so that they don't lean on that right rear tire on entry, because you're inevitably going to be leaning on it on exit. So you're just going to wear it that much more and really struggle. I always feel like if I'm a little bit tight at Richmond, I'm better than being a little loose, because then you'll just have nothing on the long run. So let's come to pit road here. Put 4 tires and fuel in the car. Need to get down to speed. And then we'll go back out and try to run. Do like a 10 lapper, applying all of those tips and tricks.
5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Let's catch up with a couple comments here first. Oh, there we go. Setup tutorial video. One day we could do that separately.
Move it, move it.
Yeah, definitely a lot more feel. All right. Yep, let's do 10 laps and try to apply these things. And the other thing is, we could do 10 hard laps, and then we could do 10 laps managing our tires a little better and show the difference in speed. So let's do the hard laps first. For consistency, we'll start on the bottom every time. We're gonna run out to the wall.
1 minute 5.527.
See, that's bad. Already slipping the rear tire. It's not gonna last very long if you do that every lap. Nice and smooth on our throttle inputs.
2.414.
This car seems like when you let off the brake pedal to free roll, it actually washes the nose worse. The front seems to stay loaded better in turning when you just trail brake a little bit. So that's important, because once you start sliding those front tires, you start wearing them really quickly. Yeah, we stayed on the brake longer there, and it helps so much. Oop, it's not good. It's going to hurt our long run speed for sure. Driving in straight to the yellow line so I can get there and just wrap it. So I'm kind of running that wider exit this run. Bigger arc into the corners. And just trying to carry momentum. In the next run, we're going to focus on being straighter. Throttle up early. Drive it out to the wall.
22.679.
See, I'm struggling to get to that yellow line already because the tires aren't as gripped up as they were at the beginning of the run. The other thing is you could see the way the banking falls away on the exit of 2, which is why being low and straight is even more important. Because when you kind of let it run out, all that weight transfers to the right rear tire as you come out of the banking, and that makes it want to snap. So right here will be a little wider, and you can see that occur. That's not good. Has it been 10 laps yet? Anybody counting? I have not been.
22.779.
8? Okay. We'll run the last 2. We'll run the last 2 in the middle of the front straightaway. I know some guys do that. You kind of pinch the car off on exit, so you have to be patient, but there's a lot of grip here for the rear tires. And you can move up a little bit, get your arc back into turn 1. I'm going to that low straight exit. I'm trying not to because it's better, but I'm trying to show you guys pushing a little bit harder. Actually, let's roll the middle one time, pretend we're racing. Okay. We'll come to pit road here. I think there's just less overall grip with the new aero package like we saw at Phoenix. A lot of teams said they didn't really fight the balance much more. They just had less overall grip. So whatever your balance was, seemed to be worse.
Pit box in 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Yeah, the way this car was with the current state of the downforce. Okay, see what our tires were. 95, 94 on the right, 96, 96 on the left. So someone remember that number. We're gonna go do another run by being a little bit more patient. We could look back though. I wanted to show you. I think it was. Let's see when we went out. It might have been. How many laps did we do? Probably lap 29 or so. So there, that was the diamond corner. See, I kind of entered low, washed up like a foot, and then came back down. I think I did the same down here. Yep. I never got back to it, though. You could see I was already fighting that because that was the second or third lap of the run. I do want to see, though, there's one run I had like a late apex. That was not the lap. Might have been earlier in the run. Actually, I think it... Let's see. Big arc. No. I think it was these 2 laps. Yeah, this is the late apex lap. I could already tell. So did you see the arc I carried and how I turned down late and came off low and straight? And then I drove it straight to the yellow line down here, and I actually diamonded it a little bit. Carried a lot of entropy, let it wash up, brought it back down. Now this lap, I think I go straight to the yellow line and wrap it all the way through the corner in turns 1 and 2. Not really. I think I late apex it again. No, I actually missed it that time. Carried more arc into 3 this time, which you could see. So I think my center speed was a little higher doing that. I wanted to see a lap where we got right to the yellow. Here it is. No, missed it. I think we got better as we ran, though. So let's see here. Actually, we matched these 2 laps exactly. 22.936, 22.936. So let's see what we did differently these laps. So 31. We kind of diamonded it a little bit. We never really got back to it. It just seems if you slide off it, you can't get back there. So you need to get to the yellow line and stay on the yellow line. Completely missed it down there. I don't know what that lap was. Oh, no, this is too late in the run. All right, this is these 2 laps, 22:49. So late apex, could already tell. Yep, got to the yellow line late, came straight off the corner. So we were like a half a lane up all the way through the corner and then cut down late. Arc into turn 3, got to the yellow line. Slight wash in the center, but not bad. And then this lap is the same lap time, but different line. See, I got to the yellow line earlier. I slipped off of it. It seems on the sim that it's easier to carry that bigger arc and get a lower, straighter exit. If you enter shallow, it just gets tight in the center and wants to slip the front, wash the nose, just like you see there. I was able to kind of hold it there a couple feet off. So this time, let's go out and be a little bit more patient with the car and focus on coming off the corners lower and straighter. You ask a lot out of your front tires though with that big arc. Even if your car will allow you to get there, you ask a lot. So, but then again, if you drive in shallow and chop the corner off, you're asking a lot of the front tires. So it's a fine line. But if you are on that yellow line and it's gripped up and it kind of pulls the car around it like a railroad track, that is going to help manage your tires because you're not going to have to turn the wheel as much. All right, so here we go. Someone keep track of laps for me. Remember what the tires were. Does someone remember? Because I do not. So see if they're any better. It's only a 10-lap run. I think you have to do... I mean, we really should be doing 30-lap runs, which I don't have time for right now. But 15 to 20 would probably be enough to see a difference. I don't know if we will with 10. I look for the Geico restart zone as a point of reference for when to start leaving the yellow. I try to wrap the yellow line all the way until then in 3 and 4. And down here, you could feel the compression, that dip, before the banking starts to fall away off of turn 2. That's my reference. That was a horrible lap. I just wanted to try something there. See, we are still on the yellow. We missed the yellow line through the center, but we got back to it and wrapped it to that blue Geico sign. Try to late apex this corner here. The late apex feels really good down here. Low and straight, baby. You know how many laps it's been, anybody? Anybody been counting? A lot of guys in really long runs in real life, what they do, because they're ending more shallow, they just roll very long like that before they pick up the throttle. Use a little less brake too to keep heat out of the front tires because they're kind of holding the bottom so tight. Locked up the left front there. If I were to do this run over, or both runs over, I'd probably adjust my brake bias.
23.046.
Try a big arc and late apex down here.
23.071.
Point it straight at the flag stand, drive out there.
23 even.
I think we've run one extra lap this time. Okay.
23.03.
All right, pit road. I actually was pretty sloppy right there. Just because I got used to doing what I was doing the last run and I had to clean it up. So there might not actually be that big of a difference here. If anything, I feel like I used my right rear even more. Might have used my right front less.
5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Oh, I don't know why it reset me like that. 96, 95. So that was only a 10-lap run. Those are two 10-lap runs. Actually, one was 11, but there was a 1% decrease in right rear tire wear by coming off the bottom lower and straighter, being more patient, letting the car roll more. My right front was the same. It was kind of interesting. You know, I feel like in real life, like I said, you get to that yellow line early and it has grip, so it pulls the car around it. On here, it doesn't seem to have extra grip on iRacing. So if you get there early, you kind of chop the corner off and, you know, don't have the ideal entry angle, which is true in real life, but because of the added grip, it accepts it and it pulls you around. Whereas here on iRacing, because of that angle and there not being more grip on the yellow line, you kind of just slide off of it. So I believe the arc, a little bit of arc, is actually better. It doesn't seem to wear the right front anymore on iRacing, that is. And the track doesn't really rubber up. Dynamic track's not really how it used to be, and it's not necessarily as the same exact thing as real life. So you don't have to combat that. So I think that allows you to carry a little bit more arc, get a better angle through the center, carry more roll speed and center speed. And that arc actually helps you be lower and straighter on exit. So the first run, we were kind of having a big arc on entry and on exit. We were picking up the throttle early and letting the car run out wide, which is harder on the tires everywhere. Whereas this run, we arced it about half the time, but we're more patient and let it roll more so we can come off the corner straighter. Whereas the other laps, we did actually get in pretty shallow and just try to keep it on the yellow and then let it roll even longer. You have to be more patient to come off the corner low and straight. But it did make a difference in the right rear tire wear. And in fact, our left front was the same. Last run, our right front was 96, so it was 96 again. Right rear was 94, was 95 that time. Our left front was 96 the first run, is 96 again. I felt the same. I felt like I was slipping the front tires the same amount that run. I had less wheel in it on exit, but I had more wheel in it in the center because I was showering up the entries. So that makes sense. But the left rear was 96 last run, and this run was 97. So we actually had 1% decrease in tire wear across both rear tires by coming up the corner lower and straighter, and that's only a 10-lap run. So that means if we ran 20 or 30 laps, it'd probably be 2 or 3% both those times. And if you run 40 or 50 at that rate, it would probably consistently be 4 or 5%, which is huge if you're running, that long, if you're running a full race or a full fuel run. So that's huge. That big of an arc is not optimal, in my opinion, not for the front tires. Definitely not in real life, but we can try it on iRacing. I know exactly what you're talking about. First, let's look at this replay. We'll go try that and verify. I do want to find the correct lap here where... Okay, so this is the big arc and late apex. Bless you. Yep. So that's that, half a lane up through the corner, get down to the yellow line late, come off low and straight. Then we go into 3. We actually locked the left front up, missed the corner completely. That would not help tire wear. We actually got down there, though, so that's like a late apex 3 and 4 if you're curious what that looks like. I think this lap we drive in lower and straighter. We get to the yellow line, and we just wrap it tight the whole way. Slid off it in the center. You can see I had wheeling it. I tried to just get back down, then I snapped loose on exit once it hooked. Got to the yellow line down here. Diamonded a little bit. That's what that looks like. Just searching for grip. I want to see a lap, though. This is going to be a late apex again. Let it roll, come down low and straight. Didn't quite get all the way down, though. See, this time we'll get to the yellow line and wrap it all the way around the corner. Let's see. I know I had a 1 and 2 where I wrapped the yellow line all the way through. It's not going to be this time either. It must have been earlier in the run. Let's see. Because I want to show you what that looks like. Here it is, I think. So that's getting there early and wrapping it early the whole way through the corner. But see, look. So look at the trajectory of the car on exit, right? I'm already almost at this hash mark, right? Or let's stop it at this seam. So look at the angle of the car in relation to that seam, right? Right rear is about a foot off. So now let's go to, I think lap 46 was that late apex we spoke about. Logan will be seeing you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep. So now we were referencing this seam before, and we were already out here. Like at this hash mark, the right front was already here at the hash mark. Whereas this time, we're not on the seam until after that. That's how much lower we were on exit. So we had a little bit of an arc. Not even a big arc, just a little bit to just give us room to turn down and straighten the wheel up as we apply the throttle on exit. Whereas, anyone remember what lap that was? 42? Where we entered to the yellow line. Maybe it was 43. We got to the yellow line and stayed on the yellow line all the way through the corner. So now we have more wheel in it in the center. We don't have as much room to come down and exit, so we just kind of pick up the wheel and drive through it. And it's shoving us wider on exit, which is where Fly Guys comment about a huge arc into one, like a mega arc, to get down late could pay dividends. So let's try to do a hot lap here, because that's where that's going to help, right? Because you can pick up the throttle earlier, get straight around exit. So let's see what a Q line would look like, where you're carrying bigger arc. That's not going to be great because we lost our run to the line. He said they enter in the second lane and turn down, like up here. I don't feel like there's a lot of grip out there to turn down the track. Let me try again. Low and straight.
22.412.
This is what he's talking about right here. That was like a massive arc and turn down. Now let's go regular late apex. Like this. See how precise I can be so I can show you all these examples. Actually, I'm going to arc this one out. It's more than I meant to. Kind of arc the exit too. Let it run out. You can get away with that in qualifying, like I said. Now we're going to enter much more shallow. This is kind of a casual late apex, I feel like. We got tight in the middle there. That's pretty normal arc there. Alright, get to the yellow early down here. Gonna have to back the corner up a smidge. And then you're just gonna have to let it roll for longer. Pick up the gas later because you can't turn down. Obviously, there's an apron right there. Drive into 3 more shallow. We locked up the left front. I'm gonna have to move the bias back if I were to race this. Let's try that big arc again you mentioned. A lot of people get creative with 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 everyone pretty much hugs the bottom. Yeah, you have to in 3 and 4. The only difference down here you see is this. A little more arc to get a better angle through the center. And then next time you can drive in straight to the yellow and we'll see what that looks like. Wrap it. It also depends, like, if you're by yourself, see, this is that straight entry you talked about, get down there and just wrap it. It's all about defensive driving, offensive driving too, right? So, like, you might find it faster to carry more arc into 1 and 2, get that big run on exit, or cross somebody over right here, right? They're low, and now you turn up underneath them, boom, you're inside of them. That's how you make a pass. Then you get to the yellow line and wrap it nicely down here. And there you go. You clear them on exit. Drive back out. It's going to be harder to turn up underneath someone with the shallow entry, but you might run the shallow entry so that someone can't get underneath you in the center of the corner. But if you do that, they'll probably beat you on exit if they set you up, as I just showed you before. So that's something to keep in mind while racing here next week when the officials come. I think if you were to run the bigger arc, they can shove their nose in there through the center like this, and then you can't turn down. They're there. You have to do this awkward correction, change up your angle on exit. You can't get that straight exit you wanted, and now you're in threat of losing a position. So the other thing is, even with that little bit of late apex, just like missing the bottom by half a car or so and getting down here, what someone could do is, even though their whole car can't get up underneath you, they can just drive in there, give you a little bump and run, especially because you're exposing yourself to getting hit in the left rear and not getting hit square. So they can easily shove you up the track, get you a little out of shape if you do that. But hopefully all those tips help you get around Richmond Raceway, one of my favorite tracks to go to on the sim and in real life. I will be pulling double duty, making my debut in the NASCAR Next Gen car. Drive the Live Fast number 78 Chevrolet Camaro. But first, we'll be running my BJ McLeod number 78 Chevrolet Camaro the day before in real life. So I'm looking forward to getting to the track and running officials next week on here. Probably do some streaming ahead of time to warm up, get prepared. But first, we got Circuit of the Americas this weekend, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for the support as always. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Go check out D-Box Technologies and thank them for their support. They definitely helped me learn a lot on the sim and prepare for upcoming races, as you just saw today. So appreciate it as always. I hope you guys have a great evening and an awesome rest of your week.